What's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Um, Good evening to all of you. It's near 10 p.m. here in the Northeast. Uh, Dark Helmet says ETH is up and up. Yeah, it definitely is. Looking good here. The entire market is looking good. You got green across the board. Wilson T, how are you? Rip Viper Moto, what's up? Scott Caruso, how you doing? Zay Rubio, how you doing? The Critical Mass, long XRP Bitcoin. I'm on the same boat there, including with XRP. Ed, how you doing, Ed? Hill Chapman, Richard Carr, Jesse's XRP World. Um, Boy, I can't say your username. SFSI3A. Do you think this is a bull trap? It could be, but I know we've been on the upper trend, and consolidations along the way are normal. And I think the market is really bullish to the for the Bitcoin halving coming up in May. Um, Service Tech, Steve K, how you guys doing? XRP Girl, good evening. Peter Vass, what's up? Uh, Thank you all for joining. On the way in, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Help support the stream and the channel, of course. So thank you for doing that. Reggie Austin, hello from Japan. Awesome. Thank you for tuning in, Reggie. XRP for me. Cheers. How you doing, Mike Sorello, Staff Sergeant Marines, Jay Solomon, Jason Go2. Great to have everybody. Thank you, guys. Alex Yeet. Awesome. Glad to have you. It's great to have everybody. It's kind of weird doing a live stream. I don't know how many of you are basketball fans, but we heard about Kobe Bryant passing away. I'm sure many of you probably heard the name, which is pretty sad. His daughter passed away with him in a helicopter crash, as well as I think like 7 other people. So that's been kind of weird. Hearing that news, kind of surreal. But we're going to talk some crypto here, take our minds off, kind of the sad news there. Hourglass from Arizona, how you doing? All right, we got 75 people. We'll give it another minute or so. Luis Rivas from Maryland, how you doing? Yeah, Reggie, definitely terrible. So sad. And that's why, money isn't everything, right? Obviously, Kobe Bryant, a very successful person in life, from a sports standpoint as well as in business, because he was able to translate his success from the NBA over to doing things like winning an Oscar for a short film on basketball and other investments. But always be sure to take care of the things around you, like your family. Don't hold grudges and things like that, because life is short. We don't know what tomorrow holds, and you never want to have regrets. And we're not promised tomorrow. We just live it one day at a time. Of course, we plan for the future. Nothing wrong with that, but still making sure everything is good and wrapped up on your end. Ray Santos Crypto. Jarvis token is up 340% in a week. Thanks, Tony. I haven't heard about Jarvis token. I'll check it out, but thank you for the $2 donation, Ray. Appreciate that. Crypto Man says, a moment of silence for Kobe Bryant. He supported Trons. Yeah, I think he was involved in some promotions there with the founder of Tron, right? Yeah, I think I remember that. I think the founder of Tron also tweeted something with him and Kobe, a photo of him and Kobe. Yeah, Gerald praying for the family. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what his wife is going through. David Rice, hope he left his private keys. Well, I mean, we don't know how much crypto he held or if he needed to. He's so rich. But let's talk about the market here, guys. let me refresh here. It's looking pretty bullish right now. We're seeing some green, Bitcoin back over 8,600, so 8,652. Ethereum at $168. XRP close to 23 cents. Bitcoin Cash pumping pretty hard, actually, up 15% from a 24-hour perspective at 356. So, we're going to have to wait and see if this is like a legit movement upwards, and see how things progress. I'm certainly still on my platform of saying we are in a bull market. I believe we've been in a bull market since December 2018 when the market bottomed. But it's just a matter of going through the cycles of going back up, and there's going to be consolidations along the way. But I mean, we were in the low 3,000 in December 2018. Now we're as far as Bitcoin, we're back over 8,600. So hopefully we can keep going back up and build a resistance off of 9,000, and then work our way back to 10. And then, May is the Bitcoin halving, which I believe will drive the prices higher. Will we see a bull run? That's the question, right? That's the question everybody has. But I don't know. It's hard to predict these things, and it could be some major catalyst happens that does drive us into a bull run, because you need bull market conditions to have a bull run, right? Like in October of 2017, we were in a bull market since like mid 2016. We had a continual upward trend, right? But then you had a massive bull run in October 2017 into December 2017. So the great thing is we can anticipate it, because we are in a bull market, but there has to be some catalysts and a certain points where, maybe we hear some big news. Maybe it's back launching their app, and we go from there. Patrick Young, thank you so much for the $34 Canadian. I appreciate that. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for joining the stream. So guys, let's see how things continue to rally upwards. Always zoom out, look at the bigger picture, right? Don't just focus on the weekly cycles and even, the few month cycles. Those things will they kind of depress you sometimes, but they're tiny blips in the timeline when you zoom out. And that's the thing you got to look at, right? Sometimes these bear and bull markets run 4-year cycles. So we just got to go through them, and it's worth the wait. You get the reward at the end. So guys, some interesting news I wanted to share with you guys. The World Economic Forum has launched a global consortium for crypto governance. Now, this is amazing and great on so many levels. These are the things as investors we want to see, because it shows that crypto is here to stay. And digital assets are here to stay. It cannot be ignored anymore. And all the world leaders, all the financial leaders from different economies, the IMF and BIS, and all these people now have to come together and say, hey, what are we going to do? We got to put our heads together here. This is the new asset class, the new disruptive technology. Central banks, the financial industry, many things are set to be disrupted. And we see a lot of them now are scrambling to try to get on board. So this is very, very interesting, and it should give you confidence as an investor, because we're the early adopters, right? And I got in, in early 2016 when we didn't have news like this. It was really hard to hold, but I'm glad I did, because you didn't hear Bitcoin, a new exchange being launched by Fidelity, and this pension fund is investing in crypto, and this institution's doing this, and the IMF is talking about crypto. We didn't have this news, guys. So the fact that, those of you who may be new, you're pretty lucky, because you're seeing a lot of the real-time building of the infrastructure, regulations, the conversations that are happening. So announced Friday, the consortium seeks to bring together financial institutions, government representatives, developers, and other members of the global community to determine what sort of governance around cryptocurrencies can be best, further the goal of financial inclusions. Digital currencies are a key area of interest for the forum, said the World Economic Forum founder and chairman Klaus Schwab. I wonder if this guy is related to Charles Schwab, that company. The area requires input across sectors, functions, and geographies. So crypto and digital assets is a global movement, and that's why you see central banks are now scrambling to get on board because they're about to get disrupted. And I think the big catalyst or the fire that was lit under all their asses, so to speak, was when Facebook said, hey, you know what? We like this crypto idea. We're going to start our own. And all of them panicked because, Facebook has the brand. It has the mass adoption. There's tons of people on there globally. And if folks can use a stable coin created by Facebook, they don't necessarily have to go use a bank or a Western Union or a MoneyGram. So these guys are scrambling. And of course, in a recent report they released just last week, it dated January 2020, of course, while the World Economic Forum was happening in Davos. We covered this on this channel, of course. Central Bank Digital Currency Policymaker Toolkit. It clearly highlighted Bitcoin and Ethereum, some stable coins like MakerDAO, Tether, the Libra token, and of course Ripple's XRP, guys. So once again, they cannot ignore it. It's at their doorstep. The disruption about to take place. The technology is here to stay. And like I said, count yourself lucky you're here so early, because we are the early adopters. We are probably like 1 or 2% in the world, guys, of people who are holding crypto and talking about it and looking at it. And it's the same thing that took place in the 90s, where you had a select group who knew what was happening, what was being built out, who knew about the Googles, the Amazons, and so forth. Many of us were just going about our lives, and we were on dial-up internet with the AOL CDs and all of that, not knowing what was coming. But those who got in early, of course, benefited financially. Even like early employees at like Google and so forth, who made out really well, they became millionaires off of just stocks. Some are, just being a chef at Google in the 90s was, life-changing. Now, for us, we're not working at these companies, but we have the ability to invest in the assets that are going to be leveraged in the new financial system, because everything's going to be tokenized, right? The token economy is where we're headed. And central banks are scrambling with their CBDCs, and the IMF and all these folks are also behind it. Like, you need to get on board. And we see companies like Ripple are working with the IMF, the BIS, different governments around the globe. So it's all coming together. Of course, we would all love for it to move faster, but we got to be patient, right? I'm like, all of you guys, I want to make money too, trust me, I want to make money. I want to go buy a bigger house, right? Maybe get like a Tesla Model X or something, right? Not that I'm not living comfortably now, but I think we all have goals and aspirations and dreams and things like that. I would love to open my own business. So these are the things I'm looking at, for my investment being so early. And we saw, the bull run of 2017 minted a lot of millionaires, a lot of people who are invested in Bitcoin, Ethereum, other cryptos, some even XRP, depending on how many you had. When it went to, $3.80 or so, I made some money there, but I didn't invest as much as I should have when my friend told me about it. But like I said, you guys are so lucky. You have the news. I didn't have the news back then like this. So it is what it is, but I'm not missing the next bull run, guys. So building on our long history of public-private cooperation, we hope that hosting this consortium will catalyst the conversations necessary to inform a robust framework for governance for global digital currencies. The new consortium has buy-in from a number of central banks from developing nations, as well as the Bank of England's Mark Carney, who has opined. It's late, a Sunday night, on the potential of digital currencies before, and several non-government organizations. So this is great, guys. These are the things you want to see as an investor, because it shows the maturation of the market. It shows this is going to become fully mainstream, and the World Economic Forum. I mean, come on. This is a powerhouse, right? You got Trump, you got the other world leaders, you got the U.S. Secretary of the Treasury, right? You have all these folks, all these economic leaders and thinkers and great minds coming together at the World Economic Forum. You of course have all the big banks and so forth. And J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon, he was there. So this is no joke. This is not small time. This is big time here, right? So this is exciting, guys. This is big, and these are things I look for. They're really like pillars that show hold up the market in a sense that we're show pointing to the direction of where we're going. So very, very exciting. Hit those like buttons, guys. Thumbs up button. Let's see. I definitely want to answer some questions here. Leon Burton says, count yourself lucky. We are early. Wow, we are not early. We are in the middle now. Well, Leon, perspective is important here. This thing hasn't gone mainstream yet. Sure, there's been mentions on CNBC Fast Money. Trump has talked about it. But when you think about it, there's not too many people in this market. And a lot of weak hands have been shaked out, right? In these bear markets, people not understanding cycles. But now there's really the hodlers in here and the day traders, pretty much. Let's see here. Any questions, guys? We'd love to answer any questions you got. Josh Hawley says, Tony, you going to buy Ripple stock? I do plan to. Not financial investment advice, of course, but I do plan to buy some Ripple stock and, kind of double dip there. We'll see how things go, but that is in the plans. I'm also looking at MoneyGram because of the connection, and we'll see how, things progress with MoneyGram as well. Let's see here. Mario says, Tony, your thoughts, SEC and XRP security, commodity or currency? Mario, it's very interesting. Ripple, they did a smart move by getting all of the previous SEC people on their advisory board. They've gone and gotten those people, people from different financial markets as well. I know one guy, I think it's Benjamin Losky. He was a regulator out in New York. He's the guy I think behind BitLicense at when he was when he was there, and I think Ripple's they don't have to worry, because if the SEC really had a definitive answer or was ready to go on this, they would have came out and already said it, because you see they're already going after a lot of other companies, right? I think like every month we're hearing SEC goes after this ICO and this company. Ripple has been around for a long time. The question has been asked to them a long time ago. And if you guys recall, Coinbase, their CTO used to go on CNBC Fast Money, and when they would ask him, hey, when are you guys going to list XRP? He would like allude to securities. He would say some like default messaging. And it was like an indirect way of saying, yeah, we're not going to list XRP because it's a security. But then lo and behold, they went ahead and listed it, after like a year after that. So, and then that guy left the company. So I personally don't believe it's a security. And the way they've distributed the XRP already, R3 has a few billion, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really not under Ripple's control anymore. In the XRP ledgers, what do you call it? It is decentralized. Like you have the different validators, and there's more validators outside of what Ripple is running. So from that standpoint, it looks good. Let's see here. I'm trying to find some of that SEC news where the SEC has been going after different people. I think you guys have probably heard the news, right? Like they are going after this ICO and that ICO, and now I can't find any of those news. Let's see here. Maybe CoinDesk search here is not working too well. Okay, so obviously we know they've been going after Telegram, right? And like Ripple's been around longer than Telegram and things like that. So I'm not too worried about XRP from a security standpoint. So Nadir Zaid says, Tony, heard Ripple stock will only be available to institutional investors. Do you know if this is true? Well, generally in an IPO, I believe if I'm not mistaken, there's certain rounds that go to institutional investors, and then it's open to the general public, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Paul von Gassman says the next bull run may be greater because institution money is entering the game unlike before. Yeah, Paul. Though that's the facts, right? In 2017 or even 2016, there was no institutions, saying they're gonna invest in crypto or doing whatever. Some may be like, oh yeah, we're thinking about it, but not at this scale. Now we see the OTC markets on fire, man. They're buying it up. We see Bakkt, we see Fidelity, TD Ameritrade. So to your point, it's going to be bigger. And what a lot of people forget is a lot of these companies are going to have to market, that they're selling this and sell it to their customers, their existing database. Just imagine Fidelity. How many customers, hundreds of thousands of customers they have, maybe into the millions. They're going to present it to them. Hey, Fidelity Digital Assets, our crypto and digital assets arm of our business. This is the new asset class, and you can buy up the crypto and the digital assets, right? You're going to have more money coming in. So to your point, Paul, I believe it's going to be much bigger. And, you look at the cycles, right? Let me pull up something here for you guys. The Bitcoin halving cycles. It really tells the story. Let's see here if I could find a good image. It's all cycles, man. It's so funny how it works. Let me see if we can find something good for you guys. I think this one is pretty good. Right? Going back since 2011. If I can zoom in here. And you see the cycle. Bull, bear, bull, bear, bull, bear. And this is over years. So this is why I always tell you guys, you got to zoom out and really, really look at it. So, in this cycle here, if it were to repeat in a similar pattern, we're kind of in the reaccumulation phase. So things may just go sideways and a little bit upwards. And then, into 2021, that's when we start to see some things taking off, if you know what I mean. 2021 to 2022. So the market right now follows Bitcoin, and a lot of other coins probably have similar patterns. But with the institutional money, I think it's going to go higher, and that's why I'm holding on to some Bitcoin, of course. Ethereum, XRP is my number one. I have some others. I'm still holding on to my Litecoin. I haven't sold it, but I'm not buying any additional Litecoin. Just so you guys know, got some Cardano, Stellar, of course. Stellar, man, I don't know. They're kind of phasing out. But once again, Bitcoin is kind of the tide that lifts all boats. And we've seen it. Bitcoin goes up, the altcoins pump. So I'll cash out my Stellar at that point. And I might still accumulate some Cardano. I'll see how things progress. And definitely VeChain for sure. Service Tech says, thoughts on VeChain. I'm very bullish on VeChain. They have real world partnerships, real world adoption. People in BMW, the wine companies and so forth definitely see the value. So certainly bullish about it. Mario says, Tony, what do you think of the exchanges? Every time there's a small little bull run, Coinbase shuts down. Hey, Mario, are you speaking about recently or years ago? Because I haven't experienced that. I'm not sure, where you're based, Mario, or how many times that's happened to you, but I haven't experienced that. And I know there's many more exchanges now, so many on-ramps now for people around the globe to buy crypto. Vandy89 says 2021 to 2022, time keeps getting pushed back for the bull run. Well, Vandy, that's how it is. No one can predict the future, and we're not dealing with certainties. We're dealing with probabilities. So even though we're looking at this, what if it could happen this year? It could happen 2021, or it could happen 2023, right? That's why in investing, I think it's the Warren Buffett quote, right, about investing. It's certainly true. You gotta have patience, guys, right? Just replace stock market here with crypto market, right? The crypto market is a device for transferring money from the inpatient to the patient. And this is why I try to share these type of news items with you guys. It's not the biggest headline, it's not the most flashy news, but it shows where we're headed in, and you got to be patient. Patience is the key. We got someone from South Korea. Good to have you. I apologize, I can't read your username, but great to have you from South Korea. That's awesome. I know there's a lot of volume that comes out of South Korea for the crypto market. Ali K says, "Hi Tony, when do you expect XRP decoupling to occur?" To be honest, Ali, I think, and I've been on record saying this, once we have regulatory clarity in the US where banks and different people are free to openly handle XRP, right now I think a lot of them can't because they don't want to take the risk, right? These companies. And once we have that regulatory clarity, then I think there's a possibility because it will open the floodgates for XRP, and there could be that decoupling there for sure. I've said it since like 2 years ago. I believe XRP will be number one in the market. That's not, and for you Bitcoin maximalists, that is not because I hate Bitcoin. I'm just looking at it logically and factually and from a business standpoint. If we're talking about mainstream adoption, if we're talking about use case and utility, that's, something could change and that may not happen. But as of right now, looking at the facts that I have today, that's what I see on the horizon. And I think once we have regulatory clarity in the US, that would be great. Anthony De Palma, hi from Australia. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Anthony. It's so awesome. It's amazing, with the technology we have today that we can have folks from across the globe joining in here. That's awesome. Perfect stable Sharpie genius. McAfee wallished on his bet. So I'm interviewing John McAfee, guys. Make sure that you are subscribed with that notification bell enabled. I have an interview scheduled, I believe, for February 5th. I will be interviewing him, and I'll have the video up, right away as soon as possible. But I'm going to talk to him about it. I'll be like, hey, people were pissed about you and your bet. Now, it was a bit outlandish to say something like that in the first place, eating your own you-know-what, right? But, he did put it out there. But I'm going to talk to him because he said things about Bitcoin. I want to find out what he thinks about VeChain and XRP. I know that people think, John's kind of crazy or he's a bit outlandish. I respect John because before crypto, this is a guy who started McAfee Antivirus. He's a computer programmer. He's a very smart guy. Now he's in his older age, right? And he does a lot of wild stuff, as if you follow him and you know him. But he is, just remember who this guy was, right? And he was one of the first to recognize the value of crypto and the movement. So recognizing the disruptive technology. And now some of the things he tweets and says, it's kind of embellished and outlandish, but I feel that's just maybe his personality, maybe his way of getting attention. So I'll try to get some real answers from him. What is he thinking? Why did he say the things he said? Was it just for kicks? Was it just to get attention and bring people into the market like he said? Or, what's going on? What's his thought process? So let's see here. Let's refresh this and see how the market looks. All right, still showing some green here. XRP at 23 cents. Cool. Let's see if Bitcoin can sometime tonight go over 8,700. That'd be great. Investing King UK says, "Rip Kobe." Yeah, man. So sad. So sad. Kind of depressing when I started feeling depressed when I heard about it. Not that I'm depressed, but I mean, like, those feelings. It's like so sad. Him and his daughter and what his wife may be going through. Gerald Buford says, "Tony, what would make Ether decouple with Bitcoin?" So Gerald, similar to XRP, if you have, the CFTC has already come out and said Ethereum is a commodity, and if you have some major adoption from just a ton of institutions using the smart contract technology, and they advertise it, I think that it has to be a big one. It has to be a really big one. What if JP Morgan tomorrow said, hey, we're going to leverage Ethereum's platform for a such and such and such? That could be a catalyst. It would pump Ethereum like crazy, and it could certainly surpass Bitcoin. So we'll see. As the market matures, it's going to be hard to do it. Both for XRP and Ethereum to decouple, but it is what it is. Matt Richter, great to have you. Lauren Marie says, hi from New York. What is your price prediction for XRP this year? Lauren, it's hard to say, and I don't want to give a price because then people come back and like destroy me for it. Like, hey, you said XRP is going to be this. Even though, we always talk that this is not certainties, but probabilities. Like, here's a probability of what it would be. So I'm not going to give any price predictions. I am on record saying we are in a bull market. We could potentially see a bull run. So certainly higher prices, bull run this year, but it may happen in 2021. We'll just have to wait and see. Maurice Prince 67, how are you? Good to have you, man. Let's see, any other questions here? So I'll probably give it another 2 minutes or so, then I'll wrap up the stream. Kind of late night. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, guys. Hit that thumbs up button for the support, and it just helps with the YouTube algorithms and stuff. And don't forget to subscribe with the notification bells. Got big interviews coming up, guys. Once again, John McAfee, Lisa Song Sutton, who is running for Congress in Nevada, and she's an angel investor, invested in crypto. So we're getting more people in political seats, which is great, who support crypto. Rocco says here, hey, Tony, love the content. What's your feeling about crypto running in March? Rocco, I think as we continue to head closer to the halving, which is in May, I think we could see some pumps, some serious pumps. Now, probabilities, right? There's a high probability of pumps, and just because we've seen it historically, or it could just be a slow, steady growth to the halving. We'll have to see. And right now, everything follows Bitcoin, and that's a major event for Bitcoin, of course, right? The halving coming up in May. So we'll certainly have to wait and see. Let's see here. Vishal Reddy says, any thoughts on 10x? Yeah, so 10x, took a major hit, of course, because of all the stuff around what was going on with, I think, the founder. So I'm certainly not investing anymore, but I bought in cheap. So when it pumps again, let's say it pumps to even like 80 cents or something, right? I'll certainly make some money, right, guys? So just a reminder of my plan there. There's some things I bought in 2016, early 2017, in the bear market 2018, and it's so low that I know when the market pumps again, I'm certainly going to make some profit, but I'm not buying any more, for the record. Yeah, X Precision Beat says, John McAfee has made his money. He's just having fun now, pushing buttons. Yeah, I think so. I think he's just trolling sometimes. Reggie Austin says, Tony, what are your thoughts on Proppy? Proppy, I think, is a solid project. I'm invested in it. The problem is, goes back to the SEC and what's happening in the US. I think they may have some issues. I think once we get some cryptocurrency regulations, a lot of these projects are gonna figure out what they want to do and how they can exist in the United States. But I know there's some legal stuff. Some exchanges had to stop trading for them. Like I think Bittrex had to stop, and some of these projects, like you can't trade them, or it's just because of the securities laws. So, man, I wish the U.S. would just hurry up with the clarity, like get it all sorted out so we can move ahead here. I think it'll be beneficial for everybody, for the investors, for the projects themselves, the people building services, and companies ready to market and all of that, G-Man Crypto says, hi, Tony. What's your thoughts on IPO and XRP future, good or bad? I've covered this. I think it's good. I think Ripple's going to get more cash that they can use to build an ecosystem around XRP. The IPO will get them more brand building, more exposure, more investors, more partners, right? And the world will get to see more about what they're doing, and they will continue to build around the asset that they have. And remember, they have, I think, a bit over 50% of XRP. If you have an asset, why would you want that asset to go down in value, right? You want that asset to go up. I would, right? And many of the folks at Ripple have been on the record saying these things kind of indirectly. Like David Schwartz, the CTO, has said he doesn't want to miss the next Ethereum, right? If we look at Ethereum prices, right? What if XRP went to $100 or something because of the utility? I'm just throwing it out there, right? They certainly want that to happen, of course. G-Man Crypto, thank you so much for the donation. $1.99 beer or crypto money. Oh man, thank you so much. Goose says keep pushing for the interview with Brad. Yeah, I'm keep pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing. Forget David or Brad or whoever. I'm gonna keep pushing. Dark Helmet says, Tony, are you going to stake in Ethereum? Yeah, Dark Helmet. So great question. I'm actually in the process of trying to set that up, the proof of staking, right? You need, 30 ETH, 32 ETH or something like that. So I'm trying to set that up, and I'll let you guys know once I have that set up. The obvious part is when you stake it, you got to stake it for a while. You can't touch it really, and so I'll try to do a video around that, how you do it, what you need to consider, and things like that. So I'll definitely let you guys know. Ernst M2YA says thoughts on FTM. I'm not sure what FTM is. I apologize. Is it? I haven't heard about it, but let me look it up here. Phantom. Let's see. I haven't heard about this. It's something I'd have to look up. Honestly, don't know much about it. There's so many projects out there. Coach Mike says Coil greater than Crypto Kitties. That's for sure. Coil is. I mean, they're doing some big things. If you guys haven't seen my interview with, by the way, be sure to check out my interviews playlist, guys. If I can load it here for you. Let's see. Okay, right here. See the interviews here, guys? Definitely check it out. I want you guys to learn as much as possible, as investors, what people are doing. And I interviewed the founder of Cinnamon, the video platform, which is leveraging Coil for micropayments. And Coil is going to be big, guys. It leverages XRP for micropayments for different platforms. And a lot of different platforms and companies are going to be leveraging it from the micropayments ecosystem that's coming. XRP Run says, what might be holding regulatory clarity back? Well, to answer your question, I think a couple of things. One, the existing financial folks may be lobbying against it, right? Because they don't want to lose their money around stocks and different assets. Can you imagine, like, the gold people are probably trying to lobby other politicians to not do it? And two, the education aspect of getting more of these congressmen, congresswomen, the politicians to recognize, hey, this is not a Ponzi scheme like you've been hearing or whatever. This is the new disruptive technology, and many more are recognizing it. So it's just a matter of time. Wilman Gonzalez says, are you staking your ADA? I'm glad you're making videos often now. Best regards, man. Always enjoy your content. Thank you, Wilman. I actually am not, and that's something I need to look into. Thank you for kind of reminding me there. I have to look into that. I do have some Cardano, of course, and if I can stake it and make some money off of that, sure. So that is something I'll take as a takeaway, and definitely will let you guys know if I do make some progress there. G-Man Crypto says, what happens if a whale or bank comes in and buys Ripple? It's a good question. It's a possibility. It's certainly a possibility. I don't think Ripple's going to do it, though, because they have the gold mine, right? Think of it as Google back in 1995, 96. They had the better algorithm. What if Yahoo came and said, hey, we're going to buy it. Can we buy your algorithm information and buy you over? I'm sure they got those offers, but if you have the disruptive tech, you have the superior tech, I don't know if they would sell I'm sure they've been approached. Can you imagine? I'm sure Swift, maybe even JP Morgan, because they built their JPM coin, probably tried to buy these guys out. It wouldn't surprise me. But I don't. The likelihood of that happening, I don't think it's that great. I don't think they would. But XRP would still exist, of course, because there's a lot in the market. R3 has a lot of it, so we would have to see. All right, guys, I'm gonna give it another minute or so, and then I'm gonna hop off. And like I said, some big things here. Don't forget this, guys. This is huge right here. When the World Economic Forum has to build a consortium to talk about what to do with cryptos and digital assets, we are onto something here, and that this is game changing. This is disruptive. This is the future, the token economy. Let's see here. Coach Mike says Tezos. I don't have any Tezos. That's something I still have to research and do a bit more. Like I said, a bit more research to learn more. To be honest. TR says, "What's your opinion on the Ripple IPO?" So definitely have covered that. I definitely think it's going to be beneficial for Ripple as well as XRP in more money coming in that they can use to build the ecosystem. They don't have to rely on selling some XRP to get funding, to hire people, to market, to go build partnerships and build liquidity and all that stuff. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much for your support. I'll try to do these live streams more often, of course, and definitely we'll talk to you guys probably tomorrow, do a video. I am traveling on Tuesday, so I may not be able to do an update there, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do a live video from the airport or something like that. But thank you guys. Have a great night, or if it's morning there for you, have a great day. And I will talk to you all later.